My late husband, Mohbad's father, used to bring women to my house to knack. We were extremely close, and I least expected him to call me names on social media. Says Mumi, the late Mohbad Imole's wife. Hello, everyone. You're so much welcome. Finally, Mumi had a turn to speak on the 7th of November 2023, about 2 months when our late husband, Mohbad Imole, passed on, specifically on the 12th of September 2023. And I must say, from that time, it has been an unusual outing on social media, where for the longest time, one individual who is not a politician or an influencer, or before his demise, a top A-list musician, was mourned, and justice reverberated across social media, not just in Nigeria but all over the world. Now, let me just take us through what the statements made by his wife Wunmi. Wunmi started by narrating that she took her child Liam and went with her husband Mohbad for the performance they had in Ikorodu on Sunday. I think that should be on the 10th or on the 11th of September. That they went with them, they had the show, it was a beautiful show, and it was time for them to leave. And if you're used to musicians and the way, especially that kind of street songs that our husband does, you know that it's not what everybody can contain, because the backstage is like a madhouse where you have our monile, our malaye, all that kind of funwalowo stuff. And she said her husband gave them 100,000 naira, but some of them were not satisfied. You know how it is. They will say, funwalowo si, to and everything. But he already got into his car, and she was there as well with Mohbad's friend, Prime Boy, and Mohbad's brother. I think Adura is his name. I stand to be corrected. And because the guys were really getting agitated, they needed more money. Mohbad now told his younger one to please go down and go and sort them or do a breakdown or whatever it is. So Mohbad's brother went down out of the vehicle and went somewhere to engage with them. And it was taking too long. So Prime Boy, Mohbad's friend, decided to alight from the vehicle as well, though the vehicle was not moving, to go and see why Adura was taking so long. And so they got into a fight, to be like, that kind of thing of, oh guy, what's keeping you so long? What's going on and everything? And Mohbad's brother insulted Prime Boy. And that started the kasala. And they got to the car and narrated everything to Mohbad. And Mohbad did not say anything, according to Wunmi. Then Prime Boy got upset to be like, Mohbad, your brother is here insulting me. Your younger brother is here insulting me. And you're not saying anything. I can never allow my own younger brother to dare insult you. So that got both of them arguing and all of that. And Mohbad got upset because Prime Boy now told Mohbad that Mohbad should shut up. Mohbad got off the car and opened the side door of where Prime Boy was, asked him to get down, and that one got down angrily and all of that. So that was what broke out as the fight that we've been waiting to hear about. So she said they now got home, Of course, she'll be very uncomfortable because she said she was seated beside them in the car. In their middle in the car. And when they got home, she was giving her husband an attitude. That's the normal husband and wife kind of thing. When you don't like what your husband has done, you just be quiet and stay on your own and everything. So the next morning, her husband came to meet her and apologized, saying that, okay, ma binu, ma binu and everything, and they settled. And then later on, he now asked her to say, how far with the Liam's passport and your passport? Because of course we all know that Mohbad was trying for his family to relocate to Canada. And that she responded saying that it was still being processed, it's not ready yet. And Mohbad got upset again to be like, it's your fault, maybe she didn't submit on time, maybe there was something she's supposed to do, she didn't go into all that details. And they had an argument again. So, but that it wasn't nothing serious, it was just an argument. And later, he now showed her his arm to say that he had an injury on his arm a day before. And she applied rub on like a wound, a slight wound. And she applied rub, that's a balm, on it and everything. But by the next day, the hand got swollen, it was uncomfortable and everything. And that she suggested hospital, but her husband does not like hospital. That in fact, when she was pregnant of Liam, He wanted her to have the baby in the house, but she was like, ah, báwo ni mo ṣe máa bímọ sínú ilé? Kí ló dé? That his phobia for hospital started when NDLEA issue happened at that time. Don't attack her. Don't have hospital don't follow me or something. So that from that time he doesn't want to hear anything about hospital. So they said, okay, let's contact your nurse, but his nurse was not available. Then his friend Ayobami was also there. Now said, oh, I have a nurse that can come and attend to you. They called the nurse Feyi. That's where the nurse lady is coming from. If you've been following the story, the Feyi now later came, but not immediately, and administer 2 injections. That the first time she was giving him an injection, that minute she was there. We said she was there, but by the second time, she was already out of the room because she had to go and prepare. She was cooking. She had to go and check on what she was cooking in the kitchen. But she had already. They gave him that second injection in her absence. So when she got in, Mohbad was already uncomfortable. He asked them to pull off the drip because they were already applying maybe like intravenous on him. And he ran into the bathroom and started throwing up. So when he was throwing up, they now poured water on him just for him to, get his stamina back. Then he became weaker. Then they had to rush him to the hospital. And the time they got to the first hospital, no, in the car, when they were in the car, that the person driving, the driver of the car that took them, had to touch his hand at a point and felt that his hand was cold. So everybody got terrified. And there was traffic. So Wunmi said she had to alight, and the other guys, they took bikes so that they would beat the traffic to take him to the hospital. When they got to the hospital, they told them that he was gone. Not wanting to believe or something, they now took him to a second hospital where it was declared BID. That's brought in by. So when that happened, that she called her mother-in-law, Mohbad's mom, to say, Mommy, oh, something like this has happened, though. That kind of terrifying situation. So that she did not call her father-in-law because they're already falling out. Now, she gave the reason she fell out with her father-in-law as 2 reasons. She said she was extremely close to her father-in-law, as in he was a prayer partner, and everything. But that when Liam was born, Baba wanted the placenta, and her husband, Mohbad, was not pleased with it, and it was not released to Baba. So when the placenta was not released to Baba, Baba got really upset and thought it was Wunmi that refused it. So that is one major quanta that happened. Then she also said that Baba has a wife at home, but Baba normally bring girlfriends to her own matrimonial home. So Baba will leave Ikorodu and carry his girlfriend and bring her to her own matrimonial home. Not once, not twice, not thrice. And now one particular incident, Baba was bringing his girlfriend, and fortunately or unfortunately, Mohbad's mom was already in her own house. So Baba now entered, and he was in shock to be like, iṣẹ́ ti ká, Baba fẹ́ wá dámira, ó ti gbóge wá, ó wá bá ìyá Mohbad. Now you get to understand by this situation and all we've been hearing before that Baba Mohbad and Iya Mohbad were already coming together as Mohbad wanted. He wanted to even do Tumigbe for them again in October. So they were already on that cordial terms of for that kind of thing, which is not a new thing. So so I don't know, that will cause a lot of so you are not faithful to me again and that kind of thing. Nobody would like to see that anyway. So that was what happened, and from that day Baba stopped talking to Wunmi, thinking that it was Wunmi that set him up. So a moral question comes out to be like, is it right for a father-in-law to bring a girlfriend who has a wife at home, to bring a girlfriend to be knacking in his married son's house? So that's a question for another day. But from that point, Baba stopped talking to her, and that was when they started that silent beefing that's been going on. Then she later mentioned Naira Marley's issue that, okay, yes, they were signed, her husband was signed to Naira Marley, but at the particular points, they started having issues. And her husband was asking for his money, but nothing was coming forth. Naira was refusing to release the money. And anywhere her husband went, bas, like the videos we saw online, that he now became very terrified, he became frustrated, he became depressed, he was unhappy, he didn't want to, he just lost the zeal for life. And also, that one of the incidents that the NDLEA accosted them, they use, as she said, baga 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 baga, wọ́n fi gbá orí Mohbad. And from that time, Mohbad started losing his memory. He couldn't remember things anymore. He forgot phone passwords. He forgot his lyrics. He forgot a lot of things. And for those in the know, if you understand the faculty of the brain, you will know that every part of the brain has its own function. And any kind of trauma or any kind of baga on the brain can lead to something very, very fatal. You know, we have a site of the brain that is in charge of the sight of the eyes. We have the one that coordinates the legs. We have the one that coordinates everything. The engine room of our bodies is in the brain. So that was what led to his memory loss. And that from that time, they started making fun of Mohbad to say, bàbá yìí ti sán lórí, ó ti ní skoin o, kò rántí nǹkan mọ́, tó bá fẹ́ kọrin lyrics ẹ̀ báyìí máa hang ni, you know, those kind of things. So Mohbad will ask her to say, am I skoin? And she would tell him to reassure him that no, you're not skoin, you are fine. But that she was scared, that even at the point when the problem was too much, she was about to leave, but it was even Baba that begged her to say, but you can't leave him like this. This is a man you've known all your life. This is your love. He's going through whatever. Don't worry, you know, that kind of thing. And that she stayed. So those are the things that she narrated that happened, and that they had already pied her husband before her husband pied. Meaning that gbogbo gbas yẹn, mo nǹkan tó go through yẹn, NDLEA issue yẹn, then ebi pa, that they were hungry, they were homeless, you know, they were staying in Malian's house before, so that it was Bella Shmurda that had to take her and Mohbad in, fed them and housed them till they were able to now get their own home earlier this year, I think around April. And that in their house, this new home they have, they're just little check but it'll take 6 months. That they bought CCTV and they've not installed it. And that's why there's nothing to show, and it can be shown and is evidence that install tele. So, and she now said she doesn't know what she's done to Baba, that she's been hearing a lot of things that people have been saying about her on social media, how they've been slut shaming her, and how her father-in-law has already wrecked her image, her reputation online, and called her all names, that people have been telling her, why have you not spoken? Why are you quiet? That is it all these things that she has said now that she will now be sticking on social media when people are already at an angle to always attack her anytime she has anything to say? That she has said it all in court and that's it. And that is her truth. So you can see that Wunmi really took her time to make this confession. And I stated clearly the 2 reasons why Baba and her are not in good terms. 1, Baba's Nakademo's attitude, bringing girlfriend to come and knock in his son's matrimonial home. And number 2, the fact that Leanne's placenta was not issued and given to him. So a TBT problem to shele gongo. So this is the narration. And while some people are saying, oh, okay, we now understand the sequence of the story, some are still saying, we don't believe you, Wunmi. What's your own opinion on this? I would like to keep it short because it's already a long video. We'll come back and do further analysis. May God help us. See you in the next video. Bye for now.